Hello everybody. In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to pull off an HDR tone mapped video. We are going to use After Effects CS4 and Photomatix Pro 3. In this tutorial, we are going to take 3 exposures of video and convert them to an HDR sequence so we can tone map it. I don't have the luxury of owning 3 identical cameras, so first I'm going to start by creating 3 exposures out of one video. Before we start, create a new folder on your desktop and name it HDR. Now we're going to import our video into After Effects. Export the video as a JPEG sequence. By default, After Effects will name the video by the title. Here you can see the project name, _, 5 hashtags, bracket. The hashtags stand for the number of the rendered file. Delete everything before the first bracket and type B after the last bracket. Now render the sequence into the HDR folder we made. If you did it right, you can see that the JPEG file names start with the number and have B at the end. Let's go back to After Effects. Now we're going to select our video layer and duplicate it by pressing Ctrl D. Select the top layer and set the transfer mode to screen. As you can see, the video gets brighter and we get more detail out of the shadows area. Go to the render queue and duplicate the finished render, again by pressing Ctrl D. This time we're going to name it bracket 5 hashtags bracket A. Render this into the HDR folder. Now we're going to go back to our composition and change the transfer mode to multiply. By doing this, we're going to get more detail out of the highlighted areas. It's a little bit oversaturated, so let's create a new adjustment layer. In the effects panel, we'll type HLS and apply this effect to the adjustment layer. Let's desaturate it a little bit. Again, we go to our render queue and duplicate the last render. Name this one C and render it to the HDR folder. Let's open our HDR folder and see what we've got. Arrange the files by name. Now you can see that each frame is in the correct order. The frames are in groups of A, B, and C. This arrangement is necessary because of the batch processing function in Photomatix Pro. Now we're going to search for a group of frames to make a tone mapping preset. Look for a frame that has both sky and shadow in it. This group looks good. It has lots of sky and shadow. Remember the number of these frames and open Photomatix Pro. In Photomatix, we're going to click on Generate HDR Image. Browse to the HDR folder and select the 3 layers we just remembered and press OK. Now we'll ask for the exposure values. Let's do A2, B0, and C through 2. This will do fine. Press OK. We do not need to align the images, so let's uncheck that. And again, press OK. Now Photomatix has fused the 3 images into one 32-bit HDR image, but it doesn't look the way we want it to look. So we have to tone map it to reveal the details. Now, there are a whole bunch of settings that allow you to get the look you're after. If this is your first time in Photomatix, it can take quite a while to master. I'm going to skip the process here, so pause the tutorial and play around. Now, I've got a look I want, and I'm going to save these settings as a preset. Let's name it HDRV. Now we can close the tone mapping preview and the HDR viewer. There's no need to save the image. Now we're going to choose batch processing. Switch on the Generate HDR Image checkbox and tone map with the Detail Enhancer. Let's open the Details Enhancer settings. In Presets, choose the HDRV preset and close the settings window. Make sure to select 3 images at a time, depending on the amount of exposure you've used. In Source, we're going to select our HDR folder. By default, Photomatix will create a new folder inside the selected folder. Now we've got something to set up, and it's time to press Run. Now we'll start processing all the files. Now it's done processing, and in our HDR folder, there's a new folder with all the processed images inside. Let's go back to After Effects and import the files. Import as a sequence and drag it into the timeline. Let's render this and see what we've got. It's normal to have some flickering in the footage. And to get rid of that, you can use a plugin called GB Deflicker. It's a deflicker plugin from Granite Bay. I don't have it installed on my system, but you can download it for free and get a 15-day trial. The full version is only $50. I've tried it and it worked great. So, this is the end of my tutorial. I hope you've enjoyed it. See you again on the next tutorial, in which I will cover how to use 3D StereoCam 2, my new free product that allows you to easily create 3D anaglyph animations inside After Effects. Don't forget to check me out at www.mmvf.nl. Thanks for watching.